Okay, this is my response to the TheScotthutch and Rational Roundtable. Alright, the first thing. I posted a video response that has answers to the debate question you mentioned, and it has a black from Paul's congressman district who made a commercial for Paul saying he is absolutely not a racist. Yeah, I saw that commercial. The racist thing I dealt with in my last video. I don't know what the fuck's everyone... Who gives a shit? Not only is whether he's racist or not a tiny thing, that commercial doesn't mean shit to me. Either he could have been racist before and become not racist. He could have been not racist before and become racist. I mean, not that I think that happened, but that commercial doesn't prove anything. Anyway, about the audience response during the debate. Now, see, there is a difference between being evil or doing evil. And saying something or acting evil. When a child is born in this country, it's... First, that first sentence, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There's no such thing as an amorphous concept of evil. Evil is an action. People do evil. If you're evil, yet you don't do evil, then you can't be said to be evil in any conceivable sense. How would you judge that person as evil? His thoughts? We don't have the thought police. Your actions and the things you say define... Well, saying something is an action, so I don't know why you separated that either. It's the action of saying something. Yeah, I disagree with you on that, fundamentally. When a child is born in this country, it's got $65,000 in debt. Okay. Freedom requires responsibility for your actions, taking your own chances. Okay, freedom is not being physically unable to afford health insurance. That's not freedom. That's freedom for the rich. If you're rich, you're free. If you're not rich, you're fucked. Different F word, you know. Although Paul supports the 10th Amendment or states' rights, the main idea is that people have more control over government at the state level. How do we know that? The problem is, bad people also have more control over government at the state level. So if you have you need much fewer bad people to negatively influence the state than you do a country. Now, we're at that point where our country's fucked up. They definitely got to the central government. But this is arbitrary. There's not a... We're just talking about numbers here. Why do you support state rights and not neighborhood rights? Like, it's fucking arbitrary. These are fictional... I don't know why... For instance, a city is a smaller group than a state. I bet we have even more control over rights if we just go by city, and they should trump state rights, right? Or neighborhood rights, or individual rights. I should be able to say I don't have to follow the law because I have absolute control over me. Like, that's perfect amount of control. This shit is arbitrary, okay? It's fucking irrelevant. This whole, like, it's easier. And you base that on what? What are you basing that on? Can I get some sources? Can you prove that it's fundamentally easier to... that things are more prosperous if the state can always overwrite the government? Can you prove that? Can you substantiate that? Can you provide any line of logic to show that that's the case? Nullification is how some states have medical marijuana laws. Okay, wouldn't it be better if businesses simply didn't buy the government so that they're not cracking down on marijuana so that they can make a fucking marijuana pill? But again, I can say the same thing. I can say, you know, the federal government is why we can't rape babies. I mean, who knows? Maybe a state will vote in baby raping. No, that would be retarded. That's a retarded argument. It's not based on anything. again, you like the state, I like the federal government. It ends up coming down to preference. You can't prove the things you're saying, and these are assertions. You know, nullification is how some states have medical marijuana laws. I'll give you that one, kind of, but they also could have had medical marijuana laws if we didn't have a corrupt way of dealing with drugs. On this issue, I actually agree with Mr. Paul. Remember, I said I agree with, like, half of the issues on it. So I don't know why you're putting this. I didn't mention marijuana, and this is bullcrap. Eric Holder's Justice Department is busting legal marijuana dispensaries in California and other states. How's that for freedom? It's not free at all. I didn't say the centralized fucking government was free right now. Shit is fucked up. I just don't think Ron Paul's answers are realistic. They kind of move us in the opposite direction. We need more rules to keep politicians from being able to go work for these companies after they get out of office. We need to prosecute these assholes who... How would removing centralized power change this? I don't understand. You're not explaining it. You're just deciding. Your state tells you something is legal. You follow all the rules and wind up behind bars. Yeah, that is fucked up. Ron Paul's justice would be fair, except for the part where the government says that you can't discriminate against race, and his removing of federal laws on that would also affect that. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go after the Civil Rights Act, but I'm saying your same logic could also apply to that. But again, this is a retarded argument because I agree with his views on medical marijuana. In fact, I agree. I think all drugs should be... I don't think neither the government or the state should be able to tell me what I put in my body. You think the state should. You see the difference here? How you're simply moving the authority to the state, whereas I'm basing my beliefs on ethics, on bodily autonomy. I don't think the state should be able to decide that at all. Neither should the country. It's unethical to put someone behind bars because you don't like what they put in their body. I don't care whether Ron Paul thinks the state should. He's wrong even on that, okay? He's wrong on abortion. The state shouldn't be able to decide that. There should be no laws telling someone that even if the thing in them is not yet sentient, thinking, and I don't just mean the brain waves to make the heart beat, I mean thinking. The state, what you're talking about, you're simply moving the responsibility down. You're simply changing the responsibility to a smaller group, but it's still a smaller group of rich white people. Again, I hate to keep saying white, but you know what I mean. You know the people, the subgroup of very rich people I'm talking about. That doesn't fucking help anyone. And it's a lot cheaper to buy a senator to manipulate a state than it is to buy a senator to manipulate the whole government. You'd end up at a point where not only can big businesses buy out the election process, but now, since it's a smaller situation, now even smaller businesses could do that. Not saying they would, but you get what I'm saying. Ron Paul's and observe the right states to nullify. He'd also observe the right states to nullify gay marriage. That is to say, if I had a gay marriage in like Kentucky and moved to Alabama, that state would have the right to ignore that. And if I were dying and I just wanted to see my partner or whatever, and they didn't let me, and I died, there would be no punishment for the hospital that did that because they don't recognize the marriage. Incidentally, I'm not gay, but you get what I'm saying. The analogy, it goes both ways. They'd be able to nullify good things and bad things. So it's fucking irrelevant. It in no way helps or hurts anything. All it does is take the thing and turn it on its head. Now, good things that the government enforce that states have tried to change. After the Civil Rights Act, certain states did try to turn it back. They tried to use their own local government. No, they lost. All you're doing is taking it and turning it upside down. Now, good things that exist to protect us can easily be taken away by the state. That's the only thing you've done. There is very little about what you mentioned that he can do without Congress. Yeah, that's pretty much true. States have the 10th Amendment's right. States have 10th Amendment rights with or without Paul. That's true. He wants to strengthen those 10th Amendment rights while weakening, what was it, the 14th Amendment? Well, yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. I just think he'll strengthen the states' rights with things. You know, marijuana should be legal for the whole country. If we make it legal state by state and it just happens, no, that's still wrong. Yeah, that's better than it being illegal, but it's unethical to even have a law about what a person can put in their body if they know the risks. The law itself is unethical. Whether they make it, if they make it legal are in every state, but the federal government still says it's legal, there's still a problem, or that it's illegal. There's still a problem because there's still a law on the books that say people can be put in prison, innocent people, for what they put in their body. But you're not getting this. Your situation could be you have a situation where every 4 years marijuana could literally be made legal, illegal, legal, illegal. Because when you have a smaller group, it's easier to manipulate that group. You can... North Carolina, if we have shifting Democrats and Republicans, it could be legal, illegal, legal, illegal. Literally, like every 4 years, if it's completely left up to the states. There's very little... the states have 10th Amendment... The one area he can do a lot in Congress is foreign policy, military. You know what? I do think he'd be right about the military thing. This one's a little exaggerated. I feel there may be a euphoria of freedom and peace as after World War II ended. Perhaps in the name of budgetary sanity, he could get some other stuff done. You see, this last sentence is very telling of the way certain people think. There'll be I think there'll be a utopia or a euphoria of freedom. No, there won't. That's fucking retarded. You have like a fantasy idea. See, you do have the sort of Randian utopia concept. You're deluded. That sentence. I don't even have to refute that sentence. The world is in a different state than it was after World War II. We have an economy. There is no just America, and we are a global economy. What one country does affects the rest of the world. We're not as isolated as we were right after World War II. I can see what happens in every other country instantly. Our economy is not the same. It would be great if we ended both wars. Or we did end one way. If all the troops were brought home, that'd be great. But to say that it would be a euphoria of freedom and peace, are you deluded? Are you crazy? It would be great to not be fucking at war anymore, and it would save us like $1 trillion. But states' rights usually refers to the 10th Amendment, which allows for nullification of federal law by the states. I know. I don't know how it became thought of as racist. No, it became thought of as racist when you cuntbags started saying that the Civil War was not about slavery, it was about states' rights. You did that, not us. You repeated, no, the Civil War was about states' rights. No, it wasn't. It was about the states' rights to own slaves. It's very possible that the South and North issue could have been dealt with without war had the slavery issue not been there. Other countries have done it before. You have dealt with regional disputes, that is, whether the central government should be able to overwrite regions, like, what the fuck are they called? You know what I mean, like states and things like that, without war. It has been done. The slavery issue, I mean, the freaking VP of the Confederacy basically outright said, yes, this, as long as they won't let us keep slaves, we're gonna have war. Like, it's revisionist that made states' rights a racist word, not us. That was you. Your type, your ilk, you brood of vipers. That was you fuckers that did that, not us. And I don't know how you think the 10th Amendment would hurt you. No, I didn't say that. The 10th Amendment is there, with or without Paul. But one of the first times it was used was to nullify fugitives by the... Oh, okay, yeah. So that they wouldn't be able to... And that's great. It's a shame that Republicans or that... You know what? I'm sick of even... This whole paragraph has nothing to do with anything. I didn't say states' rights themselves. Fuck me. I said states' rights. The idea of states' rights, that they should trump fucking everything, is what bothers me. That states' rights always trump human rights. Or worse, property rights. Oh god, don't even say the word property rights around the Ayn Rand sort of pull-tard psychos. Like, if you even suggest that maybe human rights and state rights or property rights, I don't even want to... I'm done with you, TheScotthutch. This is... if you have something else to say, maybe we'll talk about it. If you're just gonna post a bunch of retarded shit on here that is just so short-sighted, like you see like 5 minutes ahead of you, you can't imagine anything past that. You can't see how these things, again, the war thing is great. I'm not gonna elect Ron Paul just on that, but if there were less things I had a problem with Ron Paul, and he just wanted to bring the troops home, that's fucking awesome. I agree with that. That's great. But on the same token, I disagree with the way Ron Paul looks at foreign countries. He's like, well, all this foreign aid we're giving as we're starving here. No. Our foreign aid has nothing to do with why there are homeless people here. You and I both know why there are homeless people here. You saw what happened with the banks. You saw what happened with the mortgages. You saw how homeless people are thought of in this country. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they lost their job. It doesn't matter if they lost their family. They're considered the same as drug addicts by the right wing. And it's seeped all over the place. So don't even start that fucking shit. That's bullshit. His crap about foreign policy, he doesn't want to have anything to do with any, like, they could be killing all of the people, and he's like, it's not our business. So I disagree. If our army got taken out, and another country was systematically wiping out every man, woman, and child in America, I would hope that, say, I don't know, the UK or fucking anyone would come and help us out. It's colonialism. That's the problem, not interventionalism. Just intervening. For instance, while I disagree that how Obama did certain things with the Libya incident, for instance, he shouldn't have bypassed Congress like that. Congress or the Senate? Well, it doesn't matter. What we did in Libya was right. We maintained air superiority and kept the Libyan civilians from getting mowed down. Ron Paul doesn't seem like he would have supported that. He doesn't seem like he thinks it's anyone's responsibility to help any civil... Like, if it's across some arbitrary line in the ground that we're calling a country, if people are getting killed on the opposite side of the line, fuck them. It's not our problem. It's their government's problem. Even if it's their government that's killing them. You know. And I know everyone's going to be like, actually, literally, for everything I've said, because no matter what you do, if you criticize Ron Paul, even if you take what he said, put it in the video, and don't even add any words around it, oh, it's a straw man. It's a straw man. You're straw-manning libertarianism. You're straw-manning objectivism. You're straw-manning what Ayn Rand said. You're straw-manning what Rand Paul said. No! These are the things they said. These are the logical conclusions of the policies they want to enact. Not Ayn Rand. I know she's not. But you know what I'm saying. You can't criticize Ron Paul in any way. So I know you're going to say, oh, the foreign policy, you're straw-manning. Because that's what you people do. Alright, I was gonna address Rational Roundtable's comments in this video, but I need to cool down for a minute, so how about this? I'm gonna make another video so that I can go at Rational's comments calmly, even though they're uncharacteristically silly. I almost didn't believe they were coming from you, Rational Roundtable. It's like, what the hell? Are you serious? But anyway, I'll get to those in a minute, in the next video. Until my next video, try to make the world a better place, and I will too.